The suspended police minister Senzo Mchunu has revealed that he instructed his chief of staff Cedric Nkabinde to record conversations with KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Ndlela Mkhwanazi after receiving what he described as alarming threats from the provincial police boss. Testifying before Parliament's ad hoc committee investigation allegations of political interference within the police, Senzo Mchunu said he took the threats seriously after Mkhwanazi allegedly warned of a fight back over the minister's controversial decision in December 2024 to disband the political killings task team. He said, "It is me who advised the chief of staff that you may need to record the conversation with General Mkhwanazi because of threats." He, Nkabinde, kept saying General Mkhwanazi is angry. When a person says so and so is angry with you, you take it seriously. The former minister's testimony comes amid escalating tension between the two senior police figures, whose fallout has dominated the inquiry since Mkhwanazi's explosive July 6 media briefing, in which he accused Mchunu of meddling in police operations. Mchunu was grilled about a WhatsApp message Mkhwanazi sent him in April this year, requesting a meeting involving the national SAPS leadership and businessman Brown Mokgotsi, a known ANC activist and associate of attempted murder accused tenderpreneur Vusimuzi Cap Matlala. Mokgotsi allegedly told Matlala that the PKTT would be disbanded and its case dockets transferred to Deputy National Police Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya. Mkhwanazi sent the message after unsuccessfully trying to reach Mchunu through Nkabinde, later enlisting National Commissioner Fanema Semula to help arrange the meeting. Although Mchunu acknowledged receiving the message, he never convened the meeting, insisting on Friday that it would have been improper to discuss police matters in the presence of Mokgotsi, who was not part of the SAPS. He said, "I had thought of meeting Mkhwanazi first to understand what affected him and his family before involving other police generals." According to Mchunu, Nkabinde told him that during their exchanges, Mkhwanazi warned that if the minister was clean, he could go ahead with the disbanding the PKTT, but should expect a fight back. And to me, that was a threat. It was also a promise that somebody is going to go back and look at what I did wrong. While I was an MEC, Premier, and Minister, I have no problem. People can start from the day when I was the MEC. He maintained that his office does not secretly record conversations, saying the directive to record Mkhwanazi's call was an isolated incident prompted by security concerns, and said, "I said you may need to consider recording because I don't normally have discussions with a person and then get threats in a work environment." Earlier, Mkhwanazi told the inquiry that he had discovered the recordings were being made under instruction and claimed his phone had been tapped. He also alleged that Nkabinde had once informed him of a meeting involving Mchunu and former IPD head Robert McBride at the minister's Mpangeni residence, suggesting a possible working arrangement between the trio. Mkhwanazi further testified that Mchunu may have been implicated in a past IPD investigation involving his police bodyguards, though the minister was never arrested. When Mchunu requested that the recording between Nkabinde and Mkhwanazi be played before the committee, the section he claimed contained the fight back remark could not be found. The inquiry has since directed that the full audio be located and replayed when Mchunu returns to the stand on Tuesday. EFF leader Julius Malema, who sits on the committee, urged Mchunu's legal team to assist in retrieving the alleged section and said, "We need to hear that. It is very important." As the inquiry continues, the recordings and what they reveal could prove pivotal in determining whether Mchunu's controversial disbandment of the PKTT was an administrative decision or part of a deeper web of political interference within South Africa's law enforcement structures.
The threat. So I pass that in line with what you are requesting. And then
just in terms of the conversation very quickly, because we'd also been asked about it before it was even played. Whether is this the way conversations, telephonic conversations or other online conversations with your chief of staff was handled, that they were recorded, apparently without the consent of in this case, Mkhwanazi, and Mkhwanazi, I think, mentioned in his evidence that some version a bit distorted apparently, appeared on social media, and he wasn't happy about that. So,
Yeah,
so the
I'm-
question is just that: are you aware that your chief of staff, obviously, you know, he recorded it, he mentioned it to you, but is this the way he conducted things in your office?
No. No.
Okay,
There's
then
no-
maybe we'll ask him for a reason why he recorded Nkosazana without his consent, or is there a legal reason that you as a minister and your chief of staff can record conversations with people under the Cyber Act or some legislation?
Now, we don't record people. I'm not aware of anybody in my office who have ever recorded a person. But in this instance, it's me who advised the chief of staff to say, you may need to record in the format that was suggested. I was willing to go on with the meeting, as I indicated later in another meeting to General Mkhwanazi. But let me just complete that, even though the recording doesn't capture it. So part of what they discussed was what I thought was going to come here to say, if the minister is clean, knows that he's clean, he can then proceed with the disbandment. And to me, that was a threat. And it was also a promise that somebody is going to go back and say, what did I do wrong while I was MEC, while I was Premier, while I was in water? And I have no problem with that. I have no problem. People can go and start from day one when I was MEC, check any wrong and Premier and water. Those things are fine. But in the context in which it was said, it becomes a weapon. It becomes a weapon to say, don't do this, even if it's correct, even if it is lawful, even if it's constitutional, because I don't like it. If you do it, I'll go and dig what you did wrong at some point. If there is, and I don't think that people should take it for granted that the wrong things that I did.
What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.